Hi, good morning. How are you?
All right, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
You know, I usually like to start no later than 9:15. We're about 6 minutes late, so I had some technical difficulties. I don't know if anybody else has had this experience or not. I hope you don't. But my Facebook account had been hacked. And if you know that I'm in marketing, I am an agency for a lot of other businesses. So what happens when somebody hacks into an account like mine is they get access to my business manager and all of my clients' business managers, which is where their credit cards are stored in their ad accounts. So it has been a real challenge to have to go back and try to erase all the things that they did and get refunds on the money that they spent, and it's a mess. Needless to say, I have been able to get back into my Facebook account and clean all that stuff up, so that's the positive of all that negative. But this cool program that I use, Ecamm Live, had to make me log back in because of it, and I couldn't find that setting. So anyway, I apologize for starting later than normal. It seems like everybody's still kind of trickling in and enjoying connecting with everybody, so that's what we want. So, I see a couple of new faces in the room. Could I get a hand in the air to just show us if it's your first time? We've got 2 new faces. Awesome. Well, welcome. How funny that you guys chose to sit next to each other. I've only had the chance to meet one of the 2 of you, and what I heard is that she found out about us from other people who are in her BNI group. I love that. BNI, if you don't know, is a great networking group. This is not networking in that same way. Of course, we do network with each other, but where I really try to get that to happen, where I encourage that to happen, is in our Facebook group. So if you haven't already joined our private Facebook group, please scan the code and fill out the couple of questions. Hopefully I'll recognize you and just click approve. And then you can all connect there. And I was reminded this morning that we should have some way of a business card exchange or putting name cards in front of us so everyone can remember each other's names. There's a lot of irony in that because one, I think it was 2 weeks ago, I mentioned that I own the domain name iknowpeoplewhodothings.com. So I'm going to use that to build basically a directory like the Facebook group. Well, more of a directory than the Facebook group so that we can all see what we do. Yep. And I'm going to include a place on there for you to upload a picture of yourself so that should you want to go and kind of refresh your memory of who is who before coming in, you can go and look at some pictures. But the really ironic part about that is that I had presented an app to all of you here called Remember, and it was for that exact purpose. It's a group in your phone that would allow you to swipe through photos of everybody else in the room so that you could remember people's names. And I got great feedback from everybody, but if you were here and you remember, it's like an $8,000 app, and I just need money. Rob is the app developer extraordinaire back there, and he's already started working on it, which is amazing. We've been quite distracted by some client work, but one of these days we'll hopefully get back to it, and I'll be able to share all that with you too.
After brewery hours, also.
Yeah, so nudge brewery hours, and then we can get Remember back on the board. Speaking of a board, I just want to give another update is that I had shared with you my other business dream of creating a collaborative workspace called the Nexus. And for those that don't know, I signed the lease for that space at the end of December. I've been spending all of the month of January getting the space ready. The only thing that's missing is my centerpiece conference table, which is being custom built. It's going to be 10 feet by 5 feet, and we'll seat up to 14 people around. We've got some comfortable couches and chairs and things, and I'm super excited to come open it up for like an open house and show everybody, but just not yet. I gotta wait for this table. So I'll share that with you. What other, I know everyone wants to know when the next night market is, so the announcement I can make there is the same as always. Peachtree City government does not want to talk to me about dates until the Fred is booked, and that typically doesn't happen until March. So keep your Fridays in April open because I will choose one of those as our first one, and I'll certainly share those dates with you as soon as I know. Okay, so I'm going to talk about, well, why don't you talk about Launch Fayette, what it is, because we do have 2 new people here, and then
I'll let you talk about Kaufman.
Okay.
Okay, but what I was going to say, on the back here, you'll see a little easel with a piece of paper on. We are hiring at Launch Fayette. We need another meeting. Another wonderful person to take care of our members. So if you have someone who is just interested in a part-time job to work in our member services staff, just check out the piece of paper back here with the details on it and contact myself or Amy Harkness at either director@launchfayette.org or programs@launchfayette.org if you have a candidate or someone who's interested. So leave it at that.
Awesome. Well, so why would you want to work here? What is this place? Pop quiz. We have a couple members in the room, which is really great to see. And of course, Steve is the director, and Nini is a wonderful person who greets all the people who come here and keeps this community thriving. But this is essentially an incubator space. An incubator is a place where businesses come to grow, as the name implies. If you have a business idea and you need support, this is the place to do that. They have a bunch of different membership types. You can just come and float, or you can get a dedicated office, although, are there any available? One. There is one office space left, which is really a great sign. And the more of these businesses that come here to work every day, the more thriving this community will be, and the more bigger, that's good, right? The more bigger your networks will be, to be around other people who are kind of going through the same things. Everybody has different experience, so what you might need, they might have, and vice versa. It's going to be an incredible space. The more this gets filled in and the more people that come in here, this is going to be really exceptional. 1 Million Cups is really happy to be hosted here, because obviously with what I just said about the type of businesses that come to Launch Fayette, 1 Million Cups is that place where these businesses have the opportunity to stand up here and share what it is that they're working on and get feedback from a community. And the people who are in the audience are really great people to give that feedback, because they could also be members here and going through the same thing. So really it was a match made in heaven, if I might say so. But that's not where it ends. 1 Million Cups is created by the Kauffman Foundation, and the Kauffman Foundation also happens to offer this thing called Fast Track. Fast Track has always been Kauffman Foundation's, well, we'll just say child, and then you've got 1 Million Cups as another child. And this year, they're bringing those children more together. In fact, there was an email that was just sent, you're probably in the room when it came through, but they are announcing that I have my other cup. There's an organizer summit for 1 Million Cups that happens every year, and there's an organizer summit that happens for Fast Track, and this year they're actually doing it together because they see that there's this perfect marriage between the two. No, that actually sounds like incest the way I just said it, but I think you get the point. So Fast Track, I just want to briefly tell you, there are 5 modules, 5 sections of Fast Track. The first one is ideate. What are the characteristics of a successful entrepreneur? What are entrepreneurial traits? Does my idea fit with my personal vision? I'm not going to go into all of these, but you'll get the point. Section 2 is position. Is there an opportunity? How will I compete? How do I want to exit my business? Section 3 is called commit. What do I want my brand to communicate? How will I sell? How much money will I actually need? Section 4 is refine. What are your early sales numbers and what are they telling you? What might you need to help you in the business? Or who might you want to help you make decisions or think about the business? And then section 5 is launch. What does launching mean, and how can I let more customers know I exist? How will I measure success? What actually happened with the finances of my business, and why? These are honestly a small sampling of all of the things that go into these sections. We are offering it here. Launch Fayette has partnered with Kauffman to offer that here in Launch Fayette. We're doing it over 15 weeks, and the first week is February 12th. We chose to do it on a Wednesday. It starts at noon, so by the time we're done here, 10:30ish, you've got maybe an hour and a half. You can go over to Fresh Market and get something, come on back and join us. If you can't be here in person, there is a hybrid model, so you can join remotely. But the way that this is structured, you will be doing homework and coming in once a week, virtually or in person, to work with David Conti or myself there's 4 of us basically, there's 4 facilitators. We'll help you get through this program. And when you're done with the program, you will have a full business plan. I honestly am excited to go through this myself, because even though Jason Hunter Design has been 24 years in business, I actually don't have a business plan for that business. I've started other businesses since then and understand the importance of it. But as Jason Hunter Design, as I told somebody earlier, 2024 was a really tough year for Jason Hunter Design. And when I'm in those moments and I want to look back at what the plan was, I don't have one. And then I wonder why it wasn't a great year. So I say that because I really want you to consider this. If you are not a member of Launch Fayette, it is only $500. If you are willing to spend that $500, not only will you get something incredibly valuable out of the program, but you get 3 months of Flex membership here at Launch Fayette also, which is really, that's another bet. What's that valued at? $450? Yeah. So spend $500 and get a value of $450 without the program. And if you are already a member, it's only $50. So just a small buy-in just for commitment. But really, I hope that you'll consider it. I'm going to pass these around. I hope that you'll take it and read it over. Cool. I'm just making sure I don't have anything else to say. I don't think I do. If you guys have been here over the last couple of, has it been months? It's been months.
Well, actually,
Extended weeks, many weeks.
I started coming October.
Okay.
The end of October, yeah.
Wow, so it's been a year. 20. Darren has been coming to 1 Million Cups now for, well, since October, as he said. And he has finally applied to present his business. We've known a little bit about what he's done. And he has given some really good advice to some of the people who are presenting. So I expect that we're going to do the same for him. So Darren, with that, why don't you come on up and tell us about yourself.
All right.
Pass it over. Oh, okay. Otherwise it gets stuck here in the corner and nobody will know it.
Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm glad to see everybody here today, and I just want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. It's a great commitment out of your time to be up so early in the morning to actually come in and actually hear us talk about our businesses and actually share our businesses. So I just want to say thank you for being here, and taking just the time out to come out and actually, just support. So it's a great thing. Thank you. And I want to talk to you today about my business, which is the Regal Soapery, and why I started it. And just tell you a little bit more about what we do. It's safe to say that all of us, use soaps, lotions, hair products, and everything to actually to groom ourselves. Correct?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And the skin is the biggest organ inside of our body. It basically is our cover. And so a lot of us don't know that over 60% of us suffer from dry skin. And out of that 60%, 35% of that 60% suffer from what's called eczema. I suffer from eczema. And what that is when your sweat glands do not produce enough oil to moisturize your skin. So if I let my skin go for about 2 days, I literally my skin starts to crack, and it may in some areas start to bleed. So it's very vital for me to actually hydrate my skin. And so in my 20s, I said to myself, well, wait a minute. I've been using this type of lotion that's a well-known lotion for many years, and it's a very well-known cocoa butter lotion. And every time I use it, it would leave my skin gray. And I found out it was from the chemicals that were inside the lotion. And so I said to myself, well, let me go find out about the skin, how it works, and what can help it. So I went on a personal journey, went to massage school in 2005, and learned about massage, learned about skin. And from there, I had the opportunity from a teacher to learn about skin formalizations and how to make soaps, body butters, how to make candles, a little bit of the whole spectrum. So that's how we actually got started. We got started in 2020 after an injury, a personal injury in 2015, to where it made working in massage almost impossible. So that's where we started the Regal Soapery. It's a family-owned business. It's me and my wife, and we just love what we do. And how many of us like to smell good? Yeah, I know. I like to smell good. So how many of us like to use candles and incense and everything to scent the house?
Yeah.
Yep, I'm pretty much we all do. And let's see here. Jason, next slide. And who are we? The Regal Soapery. We make 100% all natural soaps, body butters, body oils, candles, wax melts, and room sprays. And let's see here. We believe that nature provides the best solutions for a radiant and healthy life. Now, what we mean by that is all of our products are 100% all natural. They're good for your skin. They're good for the environment. And each batch is small batched, so you get the best quality. So all of our batches are made in, I would say, a quantity of 10 or less. So you get the best quality, the best standards of care, and the best way to make it. And our products have no harsh chemicals, no paraffins, no FPAs, no ferrites, nothing to where it's going to make your skin itch. You know, all the nasty stuff that's made inside in mass production skincare. We eliminate all of those. We want you to feel, moisturize, look your best, and your home to smell fabulous. And our motto is, you deserve to be treated like royalty. And at the Regal Soapery, you'll be treated as such. So that's our motto.
The child one, the class.
Oh, no. Oh, it went fast.
I went through as you were talking about what
Oh,
you,
okay.
so I'm going to go back to soap.
Yeah. Okay. Now, our soaps are infused with shea butter, cocoa butter, and coconut oil. Those are the main 3 oils that we use for our soaps. And let's see here. It's an all-day moisture type of soap. You can apply it in the morning, take a shower, and you will feel the effects of it during the day. And it gives you a really nice and creamy lather. So it's all good for your skin. And then the next one. And then our body butters. Our body butters are what actually got us really started. Our body butters, there's no emulsifying waxes, no waxes to where it thickens it up. There's no water added. What we use is a mixture of 3 butters, which is shea, cocoa, and coconut oil, and 3 oils, jojoba, olive oil, and avocado oil. And we use arrowroot powder as our thickener to make it thick. And the fragrance, if it has fragrance, we have it was called the essential, which is no fragrance. And then we have other fragrances, and that's it for the body butter. And our body oils, a lot of people are using, there's no alcohol, so they use a lot of alcohol to make perfume. We don't use alcohol. We just use 2 oils and the fragrance, and that is it. So it's all natural. And then our candles are 100% wax candles, and listen here, they're wonderful. They burn for 40 hours, and they smell rich. They produce a very good smell to your home, and you would actually love them. And our wax melts, they come 6 in a pack. They are also vegan as well as candles. So they leave your home smelling nice. And we have 6 custom scents. Our scents are made with 100% all essential oil and a carrier oil. So you use diluted essential oils for all of our scents. And all of our scents smell wonderful. And one of the new things that I'm actually rolling out is that we're actually offering classes for micro schools, elementary schools, and also daycares. And one of the things that I love is I love teaching this new generation that are coming up that there's different things that you can actually do to make a living. And so that's one of my dream things that I'm doing right now is I'm actually starting to teach kids. And the next slide will show you some of the classes that I've done. And let me tell you, I have a blast, the kids have a blast, everybody has fun. Everybody goes home with product. The teachers go home with product. Everybody just loves these classes. And I just like to say that when you love what you do and what you do for a living, you will never have to work. This is my baby. This is my brainchild. I love my business, and I wouldn't imagine doing anything else. If you asked me 20 years ago, what do you think you'd be doing? I wouldn't be thinking about doing this. But I love this business, and I love everything about it. And I'd just like to say thank you all for letting me present. And I'm just now going to open it up for questions.
Well, Darren, the first question needs to be, what can we as your community, what can we do for you?
Wow, that's a big question. The number one thing that I have to say about Women in Cups is I love this community. I love every single one of y'all. Ever since I started coming, nothing but great advice, nothing, open arms, and I just like to continue that. Collaboration, motivation, and just every once in a while, some solid advice on what I'm doing right, how can I improve, things I can do to actually improve the business. And I say here, one of the things that I'm looking to do now is I'm looking to scale. I want to scale this business. We've been doing a lot of markets and craft fairs inside the area. And I'm looking to actually expand more and do something like a box, a monthly subscription box. And also more opportunities to get into the community. I want to be inside more stores also too. I'm in one store right now in Forest Park, and I want to expand that. So I'm looking for more opportunities to get out there also too.
You just said a whole lot of things that I think there's some people in the room who can help. I know I'm one of those people. At Night Market, we certainly do have vendors like yourself. I am not fully committed to anyone, that's not fair, so I would love to see your application come through, but as I mentioned earlier, I don't actually know dates, so just, I can connect with you, but if you go to the Night Market website and put your name on the mailing list, then you'll be the first to know when dates are announced, and it's not a first come, first serve, but you get your application in and we'd love to have you there. But, I mean, he's already in a store, wants to be in more stores. Who knows somebody that owns a boutique that we could make an introduction for? I'm sure that I can think of a few people. I want to hear more about the collaboration idea that you have. And then I'm sure some other people will ask questions too, but the classes, my only question, because I actually I've made soaps once. They get very hot, like you have to melt the wax. So how does that work with little ones?
Well, with little ones, you have to be a little bit cautious. I explained to them at the very beginning that what we're going to be doing is we're going to be, that's where the educational portion comes in. You're teaching them about physical science. You're teaching them about mathematics. You're teaching them about measurements. You're teaching them about better things for their bodies. So with that in mind, you have to warn them in the beginning that, hey, we're going to be using something that's very hot. For this portion, we want you to kind of stand back and let me to take over that portion. And then once we get over to the portion to where we're starting to pour things and to create things, then that's when they're more involved. So it's very hands-on.
Out of personal curiosity here for Night Market, is it possible for people, not just children, but for people to do something at Night Market out there on the field? You know, I mean, is Is it a long activity? I'm all about experiences, and the more experiences that I can bring to Night Market, the better it is. So having you there to just sell soaps, I'm all for it, but having you there to sell soaps that people can actually participate in making or
Interesting.
something like, now that's an experience that would be next level for me. So something to talk about. I don't want to hog the floor here.
No, but that's very possible. You know, if we have the right type of power going towards, you know, my setup,
Okay.
yeah, that's very
We'll
possible.
have to figure out what that looks like.
Yeah. Okay, are there any other questions?
When you, remind me one more time your name of education.
Oh, my name is Darren, Darren Hopkins.
Darren, thank you, Darren. When you mentioned more opportunities to get in front of customers, like the subscription box, thinking about what was just stated about experiences,
Mhm.
again, you have that determined value, whether or not it's worth it, but kits came to mind. A lot of people, particularly ladies, we like to have little get-togethers, parties, or if it's a milestone occasion, and we like to have things to do together. And I don't know if it's possible to put together like a DIY kit where you can buy the kit, but for however many people, let's say I have a group of 10 women, and maybe we're doing a self-care night, or we're doing something like that, and everybody gets to go home with their thing, but it's the Regal Soapery, right? Like it's.
That is an awesome idea. Awesome idea. Yeah. Mhm.
So that, as far as you think about how can I reach more people, and scale, because you don't physically have to be there to do it, but it comes with, maybe it comes with a little QR and we scan and watch your instructional video on how to do it or whatnot.
Okay.
But that might be a consideration for reach.
Yes,
I love that
I like
idea.
that, yes, I like that.
Love that
We're gonna
idea.
talk. Yeah,
Okay.
talk more. Any more questions, comments? I saw that for a hand first.
So I do have a question. We had spoke before about the different candles, and like my wife is always burning different incense, and not incense, but the different scented candles. And I noticed when you first light them, you see like that dark flume coming from them. And I checked in one of my, there was a fire down the street from our house.
Oh, wow.
And my AC, the heater, the vent, and the whole heating system, the filter was just black. And so I kind of got scared. I completely forgot about the fire, and I'm like, why is my vent, filter black? And lo and behold, it was from the fire. But then I started watching it, I noticed it is a little bit more discolored than it normally is. It's just not dirt. So I'm thinking, could it be these candles, and what am I inhaling? And, the house smells good, and I mean, if I'm cooking, she will hit all the candles and stuff to, get the smell up. And I'm just like, at what point is this like really affecting you? And then how does your product help, and how is yours different from that?
Okay, so yeah, that was a lot. Okay, so yes, this is where I get passionate. Yes, it could be the candles that she's burning, and I'm gonna go into detail about that. With candles, you have different types of waxes that you can use. You have a paraffin wax, you have beeswax, you have apricot wax, you have soy wax, which I use. Now, where your danger lies is if you're dealing with either a paraffin wax or with a beeswax. So if you're dealing with a paraffin or a beeswax, what's happening is they produce a lot of soot. And so when you burn them, and they start to burn, yeah, you have that wisp of black smoke that goes into the air. And then as the candle burns, you're still seeing that black smoke every once in a while. That's soot. Yeah, that's not good for the lungs, not good for you to breathe in. What you're looking for is a soy candle. The soy candle burns less soot. It still puts out soot, but it's like 80% less.
How much percent?
80%.
Oh.
Less soot. And also, it also goes by the type of fragrances that the manufacturer is using in the candle also too. So if they're using like a fragrance oil, a synthetic fragrance oil, what's gonna happen is you're bringing that in, and it's not a natural burn. You're looking at a burn to where you're breathing in more chemicals. Ours are 100% essential oil. So with that being said, you know, had to do a lot of testing, a lot of late nights, a lot of early mornings with that testing, but it's more healthier for you.
Okay.
Yeah, than using those synthetic
And that's your
types of
spray,
medicines.
you got the spray you're referring to, or do you have your own candles?
But I have my own candles. I make the candles, and my room sprays. You can actually use my room sprays as a body spritzer, also too. So there's only 3 ingredients in it: distilled water, witch hazel, and a fragrance. That's it. So you can actually use that as a body refresher, also too. So it's good for a room spray and a body refresher. Oh, let's go over to this gentleman right here. I saw him first.
Actually, the question is answered. I wanted to see how would you disperse samples, or do you have samples? Do you offer samples, especially in the fragrance area?
Yes, I do offer samples, yes. I can give you some samples for that next week. We actually have quite a few of the body oils right here right now.
You passed some things around earlier, but I want to make sure
Yeah.
everybody knows that they're out there on the table.
Okay, right here.
When you think, Skelly, the question is, do you have any limitations or concerns about shipping your product, particularly the body butters, right? Because temperatures can affect
Right.
product, and oils. Have you had any problems or concerns with that?
Well, during the summer months, I would have to go to a strictly next day delivery system. And then I would have to pack it with either ice packs or with dry ice.
So that, and that's.
Yeah, that is a cost, a very big cost, a jump up in cost. And during the summer months, I tend to scale down as far as shipping out body oils and body butters because of that. You know, so yeah, that's a big expense.
Do you have a, I'm not sure if supplier is the word I'm looking for, but when you think about your product and going at scale, do you have concerns about modifying your product so that it could be shipped out longer or further?
Well, I would have to, from my vantage point, when I do scale to get to that point, I would still be more hands-on in the production process to where I can, you know, kind of like I can actually monitor what's actually happening. You know, so that would take a lot for me, you know, to actually do that.
Consider.
Mhm.
I have a contact in mind that I'd like to share with you. She specializes in like natural products and helping you maintain the integrity of your product, but also achieve that whatever scale means for you. So if it's like retail, there will be some changes that have to occur, but you can still keep the integrity of the product. So, you know, when you define scale, maybe that could be a resource to look into so that you can see what it would take or what decisions you need to make to get there.
Okay, absolutely. Okay, anybody else, anything else? I saw that hand first.
If you go back in history, candle makers used to be a profession. Now it's become a profession again.
Yes.
So we've cycled back in that sense. But now we have such advanced medical and scientific capabilities, and we have dermatologists, we have scientific scent people and foods and everything else. How does this fit into that? Is there a way of having referrals from medicine or anything like that?
Absolutely. Now with the body butters and the body oils, they can actually be used as massage tools. They can be used as, since they're all natural, they can be used as what they call I'm trying to think of the word. Your method of, you know, actually doing massage.
Instead of just
Instead
like
of-
oil.
Instead of just oil, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of people, a lot of massage therapists, they use either oil or a cream. So that would be almost considered as a cream.
So you could be a B2B as well?
Yes, absolutely. Mhm.
Okay.
That's a great way to scale.
Let's see here, yep, that's all I have.
Me?
Yep.
No? Yep, okay. This is an excellent product, and I'm thinking this is a great Valentine's Day gift to give to friends or, you know, whoever, or if someone can give to me for, you know. Yeah. But, right, nobody here to hint, but, yeah, but, I'm a size small, no, I'm but I'm wondering, like, on your labeling and all, I don't see anywhere that, once it's given to me, I'm like, oh, I want more of this. There's no website on here or your phone number or something like that. I love that you put handcrafted in Stockbridge, Georgia, because I love to, you know, support local, which is fantastic, and I would really scream that out loud, because we want to support local, and I would do that. I would pay extra to support local, especially if it's some indication on here that it's, you know, local and family owned, you know, and that sort of thing. I'd be more likely to buy or spend more money. But if this was given to me, which I'm sure I'll get lots of, thank you very much, right? I don't know where to get more of it.
Okay.
You know, without you giving a card. So maybe an email address or a phone number or a QR code or
I wouldn't
something.
even rely on the card, because I do
Right,
think, like,
there's no way. I
nowadays
lose that.
people are shipping things so nicely and they have all this extra
Right,
stuff,
okay.
but that stuff goes by the wayside.
Right, and I will
On
throw,
the-
that's
On the
right.
thing that's gonna last 40 hours.
It will be
Right,
here, 40
that's-
hours in my face to go to your website or QR code if I want to buy
Okay.
more.
Great advice.
That is good advice, and thank you. I will be actually taking that.
Yeah.
On the local piece, I'll mention, Anna Rios, she's not here this morning, but she has a business called Of the Vine, where she puts together gift packs
Right.
of local products. You would fit in her catalog perfectly.
Yeah, baskets
So
and stuff.
I'll make sure that she knows to watch the video.
I don't know if you guys actually noticed this or not, but if you take a look at the background of this picture that's right here, that's actually, does anybody recognize what that is?
It's square, yeah?
Huh?
Is it the faded square?
There you go. That was at the Pumpkin Fest 2 years ago. Yep, you got it. And
Since the body creams are on our skins and such like that, are there any regulatory concerns that you have to follow?
yes, the FDA passed what's called the Fairness and Cosmetics Act in 1995. And they didn't take it seriously until 2 years ago. That's when it became more of on the forefront. And so now what we have to do is I had to change my labeling. So now what we have to do is we actually have to put on exactly what's in it, what's the weight, where it was made, and the ingredients. And so, yeah, if we follow along with those, then you'll be okay. Let's see, where the issue is that my labels are kind of small, and I'm trying to figure out exactly how to
You know about that.
Right, right.
make better labels, yeah.
Okay. So carrying on from that note then, to addition here, maybe a little statement that says complies with FDA regulation for this, and this.
Okay,
You know,
yep,
make consumers feel a little bit more confident in the product.
okay, gotcha. And I just love the suggestions and questions, just love it. Anybody else have any more questions? Rick?
Have you ever touched base with the University of Georgia in Griffin, their food process improvement center? They do food, but other natural products. They have a lot of resources there that can help you in formulation and things like that. If you need a contact, they can help you with that.
No, I've never talked to them. You know, I've talked to a gentleman over at Clayton State, but I haven't talked to anybody at Griffin.
Gervonta? Oh, yeah. But
No, it's not.
I recommend the UGA folks in Griffin. They specialize in these areas.
Okay,
One of the things that they might be able to help you with touches on one of the things you said that you are looking for is to scale and grow. I wanted to ask that question.
way.
You mentioned that they
Yeah,
are
they-
mostly made small batch, so like 10 at a time. So what capacity do you have to scale? What does scaling really look like to you?
well, right now, we're just a mom and pop shop. So what scaling to us would look like is we would want to get into a bigger space for number one. And number two, we probably would hire maybe 1 or 2 other employees until, you know, we get to the point to where we can say, okay, this is really starting to take off. So, yeah, that's what we actually.
What about equipment? How much equipment would you need in order to scale?
I would say about $45,000 to $50,000 worth of equipment. Yeah, to scale on that size. Since everything is still small batch, very small batch, we can still use kind of like the kitchen counter kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But you know, once we start to scale and get bigger, yeah, we definitely want to invest inside some equipment.
So I am a bourbon drinker, and when I go to the liquor store to buy a bottle of bourbon, I am very much attracted to the small batch bottles. From a bourbon perspective, I understand why small batch is more valuable. Is there such an equation that, like, can you equate that to soaps too? Is there a benefit to it being small batch? Is that something that's marketable, is what I'm trying to get at?
Yeah, it's very marketable because you have control. You say, okay, this is working for me, this is not working for me. You know, I've had to change my formulation to my soaps and also to my body butters quite a few times.
And that way you're not wasting inventory.
Not wasting inventory.
I feel like when I hear small batch, I hear exclusivity. Right? So that's where I feel like you can really play up on that too. That there's something of value in staying small and keeping them in small batch. And I don't know how big of a batch can still be considered small batch, but I would also consider playing that up.
Okay. Any other questions?
You know, you just prompted something. I have 2 things. So one, with the small batch conversation too, you could possibly tap into a whole kind of different market of kind of creating and tweaking your ingredients to the desires of your client. So for example, I have one daughter and she likes a particular way of her shea butter being done, and one guy actually makes it that way for her. And that's the only place she gets her shea butter. You know, it's about the sourcing, it's about, you know, what you whip it up with and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So I think that adds that exclusivity and the price point, blah, 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 blah. The other thing I was just gonna say is, you know, I know people who bake, right? They bake, and when they got to grow at scale, they needed like a bigger kitchen and a bigger this. But instead of always just like digging into those resources, what we found were there were places you can go, like commercial kitchens or commercial spaces that you can rent for a few hours, quickly go in there, do up all your batches and leave. And it just keeps your overhead at a reasonable amount. When you start saying, yeah, I need equipment and people, and I often, that's how we kind of shoot ourselves in the foot.
UGA Griffin actually has that.
Okay, okay. Well, in that scenario, yeah, we are looking for, you know, to partner with different places to where we can actually come in and produce and then do what we have to do, you know, so that's actually good. Any other questions?
All right.
Okay, well, thank you so much, everybody, thank you.
Finally get an orange cup of your own.
Awesome.
Bring it back each week. I hope you continue to still come.
Definitely will.
Awesome.
Can
Thanks,
we buy
everybody.
anything from you today?
Yes.
Oh, look at that. You might have some
Are you
sales
selling
if you're
anything?
available.
Oh, absolutely.
All right. We'll see everybody next week.
Jason, do you
Yes.
have the notebooks for the new?
Don't. You know what?
Wait a
No,
minute.
I don't. So, 1 Million Cups gives us a credit each year, and because the new year